know he's going to have some more questions for you to make sure iron out a little bit, but it's important. Be honest. Tell him everything that you know. Don't hold back, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. He's going to have some more questions for you.
I know you've been speaking mainly with certain areas. I've been talking with Michelle mostly about this. Let's go back to when you're first at Club 205. Have you ever been there before?
I'm not even sure which one that is.
Okay. How many times have you been up to Portland here?
I lived here for a while.
You lived here for a while? How long ago was that?
6 months, something like that.
6 months. 6 months ago you lived here? You lived here for a period of 6
No,
months?
I lived here for a while, and it was about 6 months ago I moved back to Oakland.
Okay, all right. So about what time did you leave from 205?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
I
Okay.
have no idea of what time anything was.
But when anything was?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what time I met Michelle. I don't know what time I got to there. I don't know what time I left there. I don't have any idea of what the times were.
Okay. Who was with you then when you left the bar? When you left and everybody got into Michelle's Cadillac and you left?
Me and Michelle and Dan and whoever that was.
Okay. Where did you go after you left?
We either went to more bars, we went straight to.
Okay, just a second. It's not we either went to.
Did I not mention I was drinking that night? I mean,
And so is Michelle, and she's been very clear about a lot of things about.
Yeah, I'm sure she's more clear than I am, for sure.
Okay. Well, just like Detective Cobb said, there's a difference between not remembering and the truth.
Yeah.
We just want to get the truth. Okay. So. Did you go to other bars, or did you go to convenience stores? Where did you go
We went to a convenience store for sure.
Okay. And who went into the convenience store?
Michelle and me, I think.
Okay. Nobody else?
I don't think so.
Okay. And where did you go after the convenience store?
We drove around for a while.
Okay.
And we stopped at off the side of the road.
Okay. Were you driving around in order to find drugs for somebody else in the car?
No.
Okay. Nobody else is giving directions to Michelle while she was driving to find drugs?
Nope.
Okay. You're positive about that?
Pretty positive.
Okay. So after you were driving around, do you remember any sort of reason of why you were driving around?
Just to drive around and drink.
Okay. And where did you end up?
Bumfuck, I don't know where it was.
Was it a park? Was it an industrial complex?
It was off the side of a road.
Okay. And what happened when you got there?
I got out and pissed.
Okay. Did anybody else get out with you?
Yeah, Michelle got out with me.
Okay. And what about Dan and the other girl?
They got out too.
Okay.
That wasn't with me. That was I walked away and went pissed.
Okay. Did anything else happen?
Yeah, Michelle followed me.
Okay. What happened then?
Then we had sex in the grass.
Okay.
Standing up.
Do you know what Dan and the other girl were doing then at all?
No, maybe arguing still, because that's what was happening when we stopped.
Okay. Well, what were they arguing about?
Nothing. Drunken, rambling.
Well, what sorts of things were they saying though?
I don't really remember everything they were saying.
You just
I
don't?
remember her saying fucking nigger real loud, and I don't really remember what else. She was just on the down slope of a drunk, is what I would call it.
Okay. And how did Dan react to that when she was yelling at him?
He was mad.
Okay. Did he start to threaten to do anything?
No.
What was he saying back?
He's saying, fuck you, my mom is black. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't listen to the whole thing. He told her to get the fuck out. I went out and got pissed.
Got pissed, like mad or pissed drunk?
Got out and pissed.
And pissed. Okay. So how do you end up back in the car from there?
I walked back over to the car.
Okay. But you got, just a second. So you got out, went out pissed. You and Michelle had sex.
Yes.
And they got out of the car.
Yep.
Okay. And when they got out of the car, you heard them arguing, and you heard the girl call Dan a nigger.
No, that was actually in the back of the car.
That was in the back of the car.
I didn't hear specifically what they were saying after that.
Okay. But did you hear them arguing outside of the car still?
Yeah.
Okay. And then did you get back into the car?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you remember if you got back into the car?
I yelled at Dan, I got back in the car, and then we picked Dan up.
You picked Dan up?
Yeah.
Then did you stop once or twice? Because I thought you stopped once and then a second time.
Me and Michelle got in the car. You mean, did we stop again later?
Yeah, I thought the car stopped once people got out back in, and then the car stopped the second time people got out back in.
Not that I know.
Not that you know of, or not that you remember, not that you care to tell.
Not that I remember.
So you tell Dan to get back in the car,
I yelled at him.
and you guys leave.
Come up the way.
Who was
I
driving?
jumped in the car. Michelle pulled up and he jumped in the car.
So Michelle pulls up, he jumps in the car, and you guys pull away.
Yep.
And the girl's not in the car.
No.
Okay. Do you remember what the road looked like when you're driving? Can you describe it for me?
Dark.
Okay.
There's grass on the side of
It
it.
was 2 lane, 4 lane.
2 lane, I think.
Okay. Was it near a river or a lake?
I don't remember that.
So did you see the girl before Dan got in the car?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that I did. I
Okay.
saw her before.
So I'm a little
that.
confused
I saw
because
her-
you told Sergeant Harrington that you saw her walking on the road.
I did. I saw her walking up the road. Dan and her were arguing. I yelled at Dan. She's walking up the road to get in the car. I yelled at Dan. And then I got in the car. Michelle backed out and pulled up. He was up there.
Okay, and then at what point did you see the muzzle flash?
I never saw a muzzle flash.
Okay, yeah, you did.
Okay? No, I didn't.
Alright. Why are you so closely tied to Dan that you insist on? Why do you feel you need to help him so much?
I don't feel I need to help him. At this point, I'm ready to just say whatever to throw him under the bus, as a matter of fact. But
Okay.
Because he would do the same thing to throw you under the bus in regards to saying, you know what, you were the one who killed that girl. You realize that?
yeah,
That's why it's so
I'm thinking
important.
about that right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's so important when he asks you these questions, just to be honest with him, because I guarantee you, Dan's not going to hesitate to throw you under the bus. See what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So, think back to that moment. You and Michelle, you tell Michelle, actually, I'm not even sure how this is working out. So, you're outside, you and Michelle have sex. She gets back in the car and drives to you, and you tell Dan.
And we both get in the car.
You
We're
both
both
get in the
walking
car.
up to the car. I yell, Dan, let's go. And I get in the car at the same time as Michelle.
Then why were you so upset that you had to yell at Dan for him to get
Because
in
he
the
was
car?
up the way.
Okay.
It wasn't upset. It was he was far away, so I yelled at him.
How far away was
I don't know, 30 feet, 50 feet. I'm not exactly sure.
he? So not like 50 yards or anything like that, but I mean 50 feet.
But what I don't understand
Yellable distance.
is I see that you finished your businesses with Michelle. Why wouldn't you just want to let Dan finish his business with the girl?
What do you mean?
Like if they were fooling around or having sex or
They
anything like
weren't
that,
fooling around.
they're just arguing.
As far as I know, yeah. That was well beyond the point where it seemed like he was going to be getting it on with them.
Okay.
We were stopping partially to kick her out of the car and for me to go take a piss, which may have been the site.
So all of you were going to kick her out of the car.
Yeah, she needed to be out of the car. She was freaking out, talking shit, just whatever.
Sounds like she was being a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Sounds like it, okay.
I was on the downslope of a drunk and just yelling random shit.
Like what sort of random shit?
I don't know, the random nigger comment and just the fuck that, nobody understands, blah, 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 drunk stuff.
Okay. So she's yelling all
That's
that.
what I remember.
But instead of actually stopping the car and asking her to get out of the car, you stop the car, piss, and have sex with your girlfriend?
No, we told her to get the fuck out. And then I went and pissed, and then, yeah, I had sex with my girlfriend. I was drunk. That's what we did, yep.
Okay. There was no, who was talking about having a gun?
Huh?
Who was talking about having a gun?
I don't know.
Okay. When you left from California with Dan, were you carrying the gun or was Dan carrying the gun?
I had a gun.
You had a gun. Okay. What kind of gun was that?
A little 32,
Okay.
1907. I can't remember the name of it. It's like Mohawk or something like that.
Okay.
It's antique.
Do you know for sure or not if Dan had a gun?
I don't know for sure on that.
Okay. How long have you known Dan?
Almost somewhere around 6 months, I gotta imagine. Because I met him after I came to Oakland back from here.
And what was he coming up with you here to Oregon for?
Go
So the guy just decided he wanted to take a 12-hour ride to Portland, and the very next day take a 12-hour bus ride back.
Yep.
Is that normal behavior for him?
I would say so.
Okay. He's done this before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people just travel.
When's the last time that you know that he's done something like this?
I have no idea.
But you just said that you knew he's done it before.
Yeah, well, he's some punker. You know, people
Okay.
travel. That's what we do.
Okay.
Especially younger kids.
Is Dan going to say that you knew he had a gun? Because obviously they're going to tell Dan. I mean, obviously that's just going to happen, right? Dan's going to say, look, I had nothing to do with this. If anything anybody had to do with it, it'd be you, Josh. So is he going to say that, you knew about the gun that he had?
Nope.
He's never going to say, yeah, I showed him the gun, he touched the gun. That gun, it was, he was playing with it. Not that he was doing anything wrong with it, but, that he was playing with it. Anything like that at all?
Nope.
Okay. So I wanted to make sure I was a little unclear in regards to going back to this car and where you're talking getting out of the car. And I know we talked about this, but keep in mind I'm just catching up here. So you guys are pulling up to this spot. Basically, if I understood, she's mouthing off, saying off comments, nigger this, whatever. Basically, was there a plan at this point to just get her out of the car and get her away from you guys?
Yeah, well, we told her she needed to get the fuck out.
Okay, you told her you need to get the fuck out. How did she take that?
Drinking, yelling more.
More
That's
pissed
what
off?
she was doing.
Okay, she's more upset about that because now she's thinking, okay, they're getting rid of me. All right. At that point, did she get out of the car and then you got out, or did you get out first?
I got out first.
You got out first, okay.
And they got out sometime while I was pissing and
How far? Okay, and that's what I was clarifying. How far away from the car were you pissing?
20 feet, 25 feet.
Okay, could you still see the car?
No.
Okay, where were you at where you were pissing? Were we talking about trees, bushes, or offside? What?
Grass. I don't know. I couldn't see the car, so there was probably stuff in the way.
Okay, all right. So you're pissing. How do you know she got out of the car at this point?
Because she wasn't there when I got back.
Okay, so did Michelle come up to you at this point?
Michelle came up to me out there while I was pissing.
Okay, so you were out of view of the car at this point. You guys, how long do you think you were away from the car by the time you were pissing and by the time you two were having sex before you came back to the car?
I don't know.
Are we talking about, this seemed like a long time to you or a short time to
It could be either.
you? Okay,
It could be, 15 minutes, could have been an hour.
Okay.
I can't be real certain.
all right, fair enough. When you come back to the car, okay, you don't see them at the car? Okay, where's the first spot that you see them?
Up the street.
Okay, when you say up the street, are they actually on the street?
Yeah, they're like up the street, on the street.
On pavement, on the grass?
I think they were on the pavement.
Okay, well, what were they doing at that point that you could see?
They were arguing, and then she started walking off, and that's when I yelled at Dan to come on.
Okay, you yelled at Dan to come on, okay, but he didn't come on right away.
No, I jumped in the car, and we pulled up to him.
Okay, when you jumped in the car and pulled up to him, where was she at that point?
I don't know.
Okay, which means, okay, because obviously at this point, what we know based on the investigation, correct me if I'm wrong, she's dead at this point. Okay, she's dead. Okay, which means if you were going up to see where Dan was to pick him up, you would have saw something or heard something. Okay, there's no doubt about that. Nobody's gonna sit there and say you didn't hear or see something. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying.
Okay, and that's why I'm saying how important it is to be honest, because the reason I say that, because I guarantee you what Dan's going to say is, I didn't do it. Josh was the one up there who was telling her to get out of the car, telling her to, shut her fucking mouth, and next thing you know, I know that I saw this flash. I think he killed her. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying,
saying.
I know it's hard sometimes when you have people who are, even though you're kind of friends, it sounds like you guys are kind of friends.
Yeah,
If he did wrong, he did wrong. Okay, but don't protect him. Okay, just because of friendship. If you saw something, now's the time to tell us. Okay, because down the road, when you say, okay, guys, I should have told you this night, but here's what happened, and you don't tell us, it makes it look bad on you. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay, and that's why we're saying it's so important, because obviously with this, there's something important that you haven't told us. Okay, and I get it, and people obviously go through this all the time, and they don't always say things up front. It takes a little bit of nudging to be honest, and we get that. That's just part of life, but it's important that you're honest about that. It's clear from what I'm seeing, what you're saying, you're picking up Dan, she's not there. She's dead at this point. That's what we know. You had to have seen something, or you had to have heard something. There's no doubt about that. Okay.
you keep saying.
Exactly. That's exactly what I keep saying. Okay. But what is it that you heard or saw? Because obviously something wasn't right at this point.
Okay, I didn't hear or see anything. I rolled up, picked up Dan, and we left.
Okay, well, let's go with that.
Again, I'm inebriated, so I'm not picking up all the detail here.
Okay, well then, let's face it. If you're not the one that killed her, right?
Right.
Okay. Michelle's not the one that killed her?
Definitely not.
Okay. At least one person, right?
That's right.
And who does that leave?
That leaves fucking Dan.
That leaves Dan. Okay.
Or
So well, obviously you guys are with me. So if Dan gets into the car, okay, whether you're inebriated or not, you're going to know something's wrong. He's going to say something, holy shit, about this girl because something just happened. Okay, he's going to be saying something to you. Okay, it's not going to be this, all right, let's go party, let's move on. It's going to be, holy shit, something to the effect of, I don't know what I just did. I can't believe I did that. Oh my God.
Or was it something like, she's a crazy bitch, let's get the fuck out of here?
No, I think I just heard that earlier from when you guys said it, but I don't remember that.
Okay, so what did he say?
I don't remember what he said. I don't remember him saying anything, actually.
So then what happened next?
We drove around and drank. We went back to the hotel.
And about what time did you leave the hotel?
I can't be certain at all. I have no idea of the time.
And you told me that you didn't know anything about this girl's death at all.
That's right.
Okay, a little bit ago you said that Michelle, she knows far better. Michelle's pretty squared away is what you were saying.
Yeah, Michelle's a little more with it. She handles alcohol a lot better than I do.
Michelle was very clear to say here not too long ago, you guys talked about her being dead.
Okay.
You haven't told us about that.
Yeah, I don't really remember ever talking about that.
Yeah, she was very clear.
Well, believe her. I believe her right now, but I don't remember that.
She said that, correct me if I'm wrong, she said that you guys saw a news clip, like a news flash.
Commercial.
You know how it is when they have news that comes up? You guys were where were they at?
You're at a store, they had some TVs on or something like that. You both saw the same sort of news flash.
So something in passing.
Something relatively shocking because you happen to be at a place where a woman was murdered.
Okay, I remember. Not really. I remember. I don't really remember anything like that. I remember.
Well, you do remember something like that.
What's that?
You would remember something like that. I mean, it's not all the time that you see somebody.
You weren't drunk then.
Yeah.
No, I was sober.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't really remember taking anything like that to be serious. I mean, if she did say something, then I didn't really think about it twice.
No, she didn't say anything. It was something that you saw, and you both acknowledged to one another that you saw the same thing, and you both acknowledged that you were at a location where a murder occurred.
Okay.
Okay.
Aren't you concerned about that?
Yeah.
Let me say this. Aren't you concerned to the point where you have this girl, you're with Dan, you're with Michelle, you're in the Cadillac, you stop at this spot, early morning hours, all of a sudden the girl's not there, and all of a sudden now there's a homicide investigation going on regarding this girl, and you're at the spot where this occurred.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that was the spot that it occurred.
Well, I mean, but people have been telling me that now, right?
Now they have.
Yeah, they've been telling me that. And that's why it's so important, because you're leaving something out. There's something that you're not being honest about. Whether that's you knew why Dan was taken off, whether it's because he said something to you about what happened, okay? Because I guarantee you, I'm telling you right now, based on our experience, we've done this a lot. When we talk to him, he's going to be the first person who starts giving up information. And I'm telling you how important it is that you tell us before that occurs. Because if he's the one who killed this girl, he's going to do everything he can to throw it off on you. Okay? And if truly you're over having sex with Michelle, and you know what? That probably makes sense. Okay? You would be a good witness. What doesn't make you a good witness is when you don't tell us exactly what happened. And when you leave things out, whether it's because you don't trust us or whatever. Okay? But think about yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because there is something here that you're not being honest about, or you're just worried about telling us. Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Look, Josh, I get the fact that, look, nobody fucking likes talking to cops. It's a fucking fact of life. We're always a pain in the ass. Always a fucking pain in the ass. But if you're not clear and truthful now, so we can get this sorted out, the thing that's going to happen is all this paperwork's going to get generated by police. There's a high likelihood that Michelle's not going to see her kid anymore. There could be a high likelihood that you don't see your kid anymore. Because all of a sudden you're tied into a homicide, you're not being truthful. And the state thinks that that makes you untrustworthy as a parent. Shit like that could happen. If you guys are going to try to be married and have any sort of family life together, all that's going to fucking happen is all this shit's going to carry and follow you for time. It's going to be a fucking disaster for a really long time. Whether you like it or not. Okay? All this stuff's already getting documented. I've got stacks of reports that I've got to sift through. All this bullshit. Okay? And you're going to sit here and tell us that you didn't see anything and hear anything. I understand that you're probably drunk. And I understand that things might be blurry and spotty memories, but it's very clear that you did see something, or you did hear something, or Dan talked about something, or you talked to him about something. Alright? I get that talking to us is a fucking pain in the ass and nobody wants to do it. I understand that. But there's a much bigger picture here for your life, for Michelle's life, for your kids' lives, any other family members. All your other family members, you've been gone for a day talking to the police right now. Okay? This can start to subside and go down and be less of an issue for you, or it's just going to continue to escalate and get to be shittier and shittier and shittier. You might not be in jail. Yeah, that's true. That could happen. I don't know about that right now because you got a prosecutor out there that we're coordinating this all with. Okay? But the fact that you're not being truthful about this whole thing is not necessarily making him too happy about how things are going. And you know how attorneys can get sometimes. And you know how the law can get. Things can get to be kind of creative. And there are certain things that we have to know about this homicide. It's not going to go away. The other thing you got to remember is, while you're concerned about yourself and Michelle, we still have a dead girl with a bunch of family members that cared about her. We still have a dead girl with a grieving mom. We still have a dead girl with a grieving boyfriend. We still have a dead girl with a bunch of other people that are worried about her. There's no need for you to try to salvage some sort of small friendship you had with a guy. I understand that you want to take care of somebody you may have worked with for a while. You may have had a pretty personal relationship with him. You might even seem like a stand-up guy. But when people start drinking a little bit, and it sounds like if Dan had any sort of a fucking temper, and he goes off the roof, let alone somebody calling him a nigger, he's going to get fucking pissed. If he ends up with a gun, who knows what a guy's going to do if he's drunk, okay? This needs to get to be to a point where we can either have a working relationship, and we can potentially help you help yourself, or it's just going to continue to get to be shittier and shittier for you. This is my job. It's not going to affect me one way or the other, okay? It's not my job to make your life hell and make a person sell. It's my job to make sure that this dead girl gets justice and that her family is satisfied with the conclusion of this investigation, okay? That's what we want to solve, and that's what we want to get at, all right? So I'm telling you, if you have a blurry memory or you think it's spotty, I understand you're drunk, I get that. But if you can remember something, what happened? There's a clearer picture, and I know you're remembering it. There's got to be a little bit of something that you can remember from that night. So what do you remember?
I just told you what I remember. I don't know what else you want me to say.
I don't
can
want
tell you that I saw him fucking shoot her, then that's what I'd fucking tell you. But
and I'm not saying that you saw him shoot her. There are two people that live in that area that both independently heard a gunshot. You're outside when a gun goes off. Maybe it didn't sound like a gun. You hear a firecracker?
I don't remember hearing anything like that.
Okay.
But it still goes back to what happened in the car after he gets in. Because he's going to say something. You know, he's going to say something. Excuse me. He's going to talk about, holy crap, this girl, this argument he just had with her. He's going to be saying something. It's not going to just be, oh, everything's fine now.
Yeah, he might have been. I don't really remember anything specific that he said.
Okay, maybe not specific. How about his demeanor at that point, once he got back into the car? What was his demeanor?
Pissed, I don't know, annoyed.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
But, like I said, I I'm with Michelle. That's what I was doing. I'm also drunk. I'm hanging out with Michelle. So I'm not exactly sure what he was doing in the back seat.
And you know, the issue with him, I mean, I can understand why he's so upset from just meeting that girl that night. I mean, you guys just met her. You didn't know her before, right? That was the first time. Okay. I mean, I understand why he would be so upset. But God almighty, I mean, this girl's laying in the ground.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Family members like he was talking about, I mean, she's got a dad too.
Yeah.
You know, and I guarantee you he is upset. The whole family is upset. He's absolutely right when he says that. You're a dad? Do you have kids? How many?
2.
How would you feel if somebody came up to you and told you about your kids, one of your kids died because of somebody did something like that?
Yeah, I feel horrible.
Absolutely feel horrible. Okay. And that's why you can understand why we're trying to make sure we're getting information from you that is correct, that is honest. Okay. And not something that's just the minimal. Because even when you and I were talking from the very beginning, you were real minimal. You know, it's kind of like, let's just get to this. And this is pretty serious. And what you don't want to be involved in, okay, after the fact is Dan comes up and says to the detective here, look, yeah, he knew exactly what I did. I had that conversation with him. I told him what I did. He saw me shoot this girl. I mean, you don't want to be an accessory after the fact. You don't want to go there, okay? That's why he's asking you this information up front now to see, okay, yeah, he's going to be honest. Here's what he's telling us. But right now, it really appears like you're just leaving a bunch of stuff out. Like you just don't even want to be a part of this. The problem is you are part of this, okay? And I can tell you it is important to be honest because there's something here, okay? Because for obvious reasons, what I saw here, okay, you're not telling everything. You've left something out.
One of the nice things about this whole set of circumstances is that, you know, they talk about police never leaving a stone unturned. And when you talk to adults, it's one of my experience when I talk to adults all the time, people that have done something stupid, they're always hesitant to talk to me because nobody likes to take on a certain responsibility or accountability. And people either feel embarrassed or shame when they're talking about something that might not even necessarily be the responsibility. They have to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's with adults. One of the great things about talking to kids is that kids are much less inhibited, and it's pretty great because you can actually have a lot more open conversation with kids, even when they have done something that's screwed up. And if they have witnessed something, or sometimes they're victims, it's a different sort of conversation that you have. Okay. Now, I'm letting you know that. We're talking to Madeline, and she's got some very interesting things to say about that morning when you guys were back at La Quinta, okay? And it's going to be really obvious that a child is lying because they don't have the cognitive ability to be that creative with their lies. Or if they do lie, the lies are just so outrageous and crazy that it's certainly obvious. So when we talk to Madeline, what is she going to talk about that morning when she's at La Quinta? What is she going to end up seeing when you guys start waking up and moving about that morning?
Us getting up.
Okay. Is she going to see anything that's unusual?
I don't think so.
Is she going to see a gun?
No.
Is she going to see 2 guns?
No.
Is she going to see Bonnie and Clyde?
No.
Okay. What is she referencing then when she's talking about Bonnie and Clyde?
Who, Michelle?
No. Madeline?
Guns?
How do you know that?
Because I nicknamed them.
Okay, but you only talked about one gun.
Yeah, that would be my gun.
Okay, what about the other gun?
The other gun is the one that I sold Dan.
And you're just telling us that now?
Yeah.
Okay. When you sold him that gun...
My big cover-up. Sorry.
So the gun that you sold Dan, what kind of gun is it?
357.
Okay. Is it a revolver then? Okay. Is it typical 357 usually they're black?
Or
is it
like
chrome?
steel.
Steel? How long was the barrel?
I don't know, short.
Okay. Well, how long ago did you sell it to him?
The day he came up here.
Here to Portland? Okay. Did you have like a bill of sale for him or anything? You just did cash?
Nope, just cash.
Just cash? Did he at least give you a decent amount of money for it?
Not really.
What did he buy it for you?
Huh?
How much did you pay for it?
$300.
That's not too bad.
I needed the money so I could move.
Because you're moving up here?
Yep.
Okay. Did that ever get registered to you?
Nope.
Okay. So where is that now after it was in the hotel room? Dan has it? Okay. Did he have it that night previously when you were at the clubs?
He got it before that, yeah.
Okay. But you said you got it the day that you got it in Portland?
Yep. Okay.
So on your drive up, you sold him the gun?
No, it was up here already.
It was up here already. Where did you get it from up here? Like, did you have it in a storage locker or something, or how did you get it?
No, Michelle had it.
Michelle had it for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She had it in my stuff.
Okay. So you sell him that. When did he pick it up from you? Like
The exact same time.
like where were you at? Did she bring stuff to you? Did Michelle brought it to you in her car?
Yep.
Okay.
She knew I was going to do that because I was trying to make money to get a fucking house.
Okay. So you sell the gun to him. She was bringing him the gun. So Dan had the gun on him that night.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Isn't this a lot easier to get sorted out now?
Sort of, yeah, I kind of feel better, but not really, because it's still just fucked.
How did you know he had the gun on him that night?
Well, I gave it to him. I'm not certain he had it, but I mean, can't think of when he would have dropped it off. So.
Meaning, did he have bags with him, stuff with him, or did he just
had a backpack with him?
Okay. Did he have the backpack that night when you guys were going around club hopping, or in the car?
I think he must have.
Okay. He didn't leave the stuff behind anywhere else.
Did you have that in a holster or free carry it? Have a case?
Free carry.
Just free carry. Okay. All right. What kind of ammunition did you carry?
I don't really remember.
Yes,
It was just what was in there.
Do you know if they were like hollow points or?
Yeah, they may have been hollow.
They may have been hollow points, or are you sure?
A little hole.
Okay. Were they jacketed?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you remember the casings? What color the casings were?
No, not really.
Okay. So now that this is cleared up, let's go back to the night. You get out and piss. You and Michelle have sex. What happens after that?
What I told you already.
Okay.
Well, but you told us you didn't know anything about a gun either.
Well, I lied about that
Okay.
part. I knew there was a gun. Yep.
Josh,
But I still didn't watch or do anything, and I also didn't hear anything.
Did you see
as much
something?
as that's like, no,
okay. Did you see a flash that night?
I didn't.
Okay. So that gun, I don't know if you asked this, but where is that gun right now?
With Dan,
How do you know it's with Dan?
because he took it with him.
Okay. Well, if we're heading out and he says grab my stuff and I'm taking my gun with me and he knows I've got it, how do you know he's got the gun with him?
Because he came up here to get it and took it back home with him.
Okay, but you don't know that he actually kept it in his backpack. What I'm saying to you is, did the gun go anywhere else after you dropped this girl off, obviously after she died? Did you guys go anywhere else and get rid of this gun?
No.
If you did, it's important to tell us.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I didn't take it.
Throw it in the water, throw it in the bush.
Was that was the whole purpose of his trip? Just come up here and get that 357 and go back.
Yep.
Okay. He didn't pick up anything else from it? Did you sell him anything else?
No.
Okay.
Just that.
He didn't sell him like a nuclear weapon in a briefcase or anything?
No, I don't know where to pick those up at all.
I know Army Navy
We're all
days selling some pretty amazing things.
Yeah, I don't know. In the market.
Okay.
Let me add, because that's going to be important that you're telling us everything, and I'm being straight up with this, because that gun that you had, you owned it, it's got your fingerprints on it, okay, it's with Dan is what you're saying.
Yep.
Okay, which again, I go back to, if once Dan's asked the question, he's going to say, I just took the gun away from Josh. Josh is the one that killed her. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
And I'm telling you, how important it is. If there's details out there that you're leaving off, now's not the time. Now is not the time. Now's the time to be straight up 100% honest about any little piece that you sit there and say, you know what, I wasn't thinking about this, but I just remembered this part. Okay?
Because I downplayed the store incident too, because me and Michelle also were like,
let's talk about that.
Shock and awe.
Let's talk about that. How'd you downplay it? What really happened?
Pretty much what she said. I mean, we saw a flash of it in the store, and not that I directly linked the two, but it was like a little flash or something like that. Mm-hmm. I didn't really link it at the time. She more did, and I was like, whatever, not really thinking that it was actually related in any way.
Well, if that's the first time you found out about this girl, is that the first time?
Yeah, well, I didn't really hear about a girl or whatever. She caught more of it than I did, obviously.
So the connection at this time was made that's related to the girl that was in your car?
At the Radio Shack. It was
Radio Shack.
It was a possibility. I wouldn't say that we made a direct connection as much as we were like, that's fucking creepy.
So that was like just the day after?
The day after that, I don't remember.
No, but I mean, when you were at the Radio Shack and saw that.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was the day after or the day after that.
Okay.
The first thing I'm going to do, okay?
Again, I don't know.
What's the first thing you're going to do?
What's that?
What's the first thing you're going to do when you find out this information? You're going to call Dan.
Oh, I didn't.
You're going to text Dan. You're going to call Dan. You're going to say, what the fuck?
Well, you'll see my phone records and see that actually didn't happen.
You didn't make any call, Dan?
No.
Why?
Because I didn't really take it like that was even related to me.
Well, did you have an inclination at that point that it was probably related to Dan?
Well, I just thought it was creepy. I didn't really relate it directly to Dan or even really think that it had anything to do with me or Dan or anything.
But there was a possibility. I mean, you were thinking, because you were concerned about it enough.
It was creepy, yeah.
Yeah, creepy. Concerned. Same thing. Fair enough?
Sure.
Okay.
Say that.
If I'm getting that creepiness, concernedness that my buddy did something, I'm going to be calling him right away and saying, what the fuck?
Okay, I did
Did you make that call?
The last time I had contact with him was a day or 2 days before that while he was on the bus, and no, I did not try to contact him.
Okay, what was the conversation there?
He texted me. It was that he was on the bus and that he thinks he has a ride from Sacramento.
Okay.
And
anything else besides that?
From a girl, and he said, yeah, of course, ha ha ha. Something like that.
Any other text messages, any other conversations you guys had?
No, we had, I think he sent me 2 texts and I sent him 2 texts.
Okay.
Would you have deleted? That was why he was on the bus.
Would you have deleted any of your text messages off your phone?
And maybe it's an
from
old phone.
No, from him.
Well, I would have deleted all of them, if any, not from him.
Okay, so meaning if there was more than 4 after this girl gets killed, okay, would there have been more than 4 text messages?
No, because he didn't text me until he was on the bus. There was only 2 from him.
2?
2 from me.
From
to
you?
me.
Okay, it's total 4.
Yep.
Any phone calls?
Nope. Not a single go.
Okay, because even if you delete that stuff, you realize that's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people don't get that.
Even the text message you should be able to look at.
Okay, so let's, if I may, let's go back
Which
to.
will also show that, I was sold in that 357.
Yeah, and I appreciate your honesty. Okay, it took that key information to have you be honest, just for the record.
Yeah, well, I just don't know what I'm doing here. I haven't done anything like this, and I'm just scared as fuck. I don't know what to say. I got my fucking girl in the other room getting fucking tortured or whatever.
Going back to the car, Dan gets in. Did you have a conversation with him?
No, like I said, I was drunk. I don't remember having a conversation with him. At all.
Do you remember him just saying anything though?
I remember him getting in, whatever, but I don't remember specifics, not even a little bit. It's not like he jumped in and said I just killed a girl or anything, because that, even drunk, I'm sure I would fucking remember that.
Yeah.
Did you see any blood on him?
No.
Did he have a gun in his hand when he got in the car?
No.
Okay. But you know that he had the gun when he ended up back at the hotel?
I know he had it with him.
Okay. Okay.
When he got into the car, did he mess around with his backpack at all?
I don't know.
Is there going to be any reason that Michelle's prints are on the gun too?
She may have touched it, like the handle or something.
Okay. You understand? Well, I mean, fingerprints aren't the end all be all the stuff.
No.
Okay. And just like Detective Cobb was talking, when we end up talking to Dan, he's going to start pointing everything back at you guys. Okay. And that's the same thing. responsible for that. But it doesn't, just because I think that doesn't mean.
It's the facts that are gonna.
Exactly, and that's what you can provide us with here, man. And that's what we want to get sorted out.
That's what I want to do for sure.
Okay. Alright. So you're absolutely positive you didn't hear or see anything related to a shot being fired?
Yep, I'm sure.
Okay. The next day, when you guys are waking up, is there any sort of conversation about, does Dan make any sort of comment about anybody else being there besides himself with you guys that night before, like anybody other guy partying with you guys? Like there's no suggestion that there was a fifth guy in the car? Nothing like that?
Dan?
Okay, did you like make a joke that way for any reason? Because some of the information that I'm getting back from Michelle when we were first talking, she was insistent that there was a fifth person with you guys. And I know that's not true. And we talked in circles for a while before Michelle finally just said, all right, it was just kind of, implied that I should say, or she wasn't even exactly that clear, but that it got talked about or joked about that there was a fifth guy with your group that night.
Okay, no, there's no fifth guy.
I know there was no fifth guy. I'm wondering, was there ever a conversation where that got implied that there was another person with the group?
Not that I remember.
Okay.
Unless you're talking about Clyde, I guess.
Is that the person that Dan would have been joking about? Is like a fifth person?
It's the
like
nickname for that gun.
It's the nickname for the gun.
So
okay. So that's where like there could be like if an outside person were listening to a conversation, I'm not saying that like somebody else coming into a conversation would think they were talking about an actual person, not the gun.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So you guys wake up that morning.
We woke up late. Dan was supposed to take the bus at 6:30. We woke up later than that, 7 or 8, something like that.
Okay.
Got up, had a hotel breakfast, or they did. And I went and got it for him. Had some coffee, and then we took Dan to the bus station.
Okay. Did he have a lot of bags with him?
No, just a backpack.
Just a backpack. All right. So he gets backpacked. What'd you guys? I mean, I'm just wondering why you ended up parking and walking him over to Union Station rather than just dropping him off.
To wait with him?
Okay. Were you worried about him?
No, he just came up here. I don't know. I didn't really think about it, I guess. We just parked. Michelle put money in the meter and we walked him over.
Okay. Did you all walk over as a group, or were you just with Dan and Michelle and Madeline were away? Or?
No, I think we were all together.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not certain.
Sometimes down at Union Station, they have a lot of police just hanging out there. They might have canines and stuff. You remember there being a big group of cops?
I don't remember a big group of cops. I remember one cop walking around with a dog, and he was harassing some lady.
Okay.
My dog really likes your bag. You got some weed in there? That's what he said.
Okay.
That was my busted story.
Your busted story?
Bus.
Oh, bus
story.
Have you had to ride the bus in a while? I haven't had to ride the bus.
I rode the bus like, I guess it was a while. I guess it was 6 months ago when I left Portland.
Oh, Portland? Did you take that down to California?
Yeah.
That's gotta be a rough trip, man.
Slept. Yeah, so that wasn't too bad. I usually will meet someone on the bus that's interesting or sleep.
Yeah. Okay. So you get down to the bus station. What do you guys talk about? Does he say anything, or is there any sort of, what's the conversation like?
See you later. He talked about coming up for our wedding.
Okay. You know now that Michelle's super freaked out about that, about him coming back.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
This doesn't set a good light on Daniel.
No, it does not. That's an understatement of the day, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, my humor's horrible.
Were you like asking him to be like a best man or something for the wedding, or just a friend?
No, he just, when I told him what our wedding was going to be like, he wanted to come.
Oh, okay.
I've known him dude less than 6 months. It's not like we're best friends. We kind of
No,
got along. We went to some punk and metal shows together. And that's as far as I know. When we work together, it's mainly how.
Okay. Where would we be able to verify any sort of serial number on that? Do you have any paperwork on that gun? Do you have a receipt, or how did you get it in the first place?
Bought it from a bum in Oakland.
Really? Okay.
Or
As a
crackhead or whatever.
As a cop, have you ever come? I'm just wondering if cops ever ran the serial number on that gun ever, or if you know a law enforcement agency ever ran that serial number.
Nah, I have no idea.
Okay. Do you even know if there is a serial number on that?
I don't know.
Okay. You know, it's kind of an important thing these days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know if it's stolen at all or where it came from? Have any idea?
I
Any
don't
concern?
know where it came from.
Okay, so you don't know if it's stolen or not.
I mean, I kind of assume it's stolen since a crackhead sold it.
And how long ago did you buy it, you think?
Let's see. I can figure it out. Can't be more than 4 years.
4 years. Do you
Maybe
remember
less
about what
than-
month?
I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
What was the reason why Dan wanted the gun?
He lives in hood-ass Oakland, and I grew up over there. I got shot at quite a bit. It's you want a gun over there. That's when I bought that gun. Is when I was living in Oakland. Yeah, that's why. People will kill you there.
Did you get a description of the backpack?
I don't think I have.
Black. It's like a regular kid's backpack for school.
You remember like a brand, like a Jansport or anything?
That sounds familiar. I almost want to say yeah, but I just see so many of those.
Yeah.
That could be it. So yeah, I don't know specifically what kind of backpack he had. Just black, looked like a regular kid's backpack.
Okay. I'm gonna step out for just for a second. I'll go back. One thing to be curious about. I know that the gun. If you did you have it in California pretty much the whole time, or
Yeah.
okay? And then you brought it up here. How did it get back up here to Michelle?
I brought it up here, and then I left it here when I moved back to California.
Okay.
I left that one there with her, and then I took the other one that I still have.
Is that Bonnie?
Yeah,
Okay. Your Bonnie's 32.
yeah, it's the antique one, 1907.
Is that like a little semi-auto pistol that holds like
Yeah.
7?
No, I think I was 11.
11?
Yeah, it's teeny.
Okay. Alright. Give me a second here, okay? Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
Well, I know Oakland is a good spot. Do you think you know where he went to?
No.
Does he have a house down there? Who does he live with?
He's got some roommates. I don't remember all their names. One of them's named Rob.
Do you have any idea where it's at?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the address?
I can tell you about where it is.
What area are we talking about?
West Oakland.
West Oakland? Is that near Berkeley? Where's it?
Closer.
That'd be kind of north
Like
Oakland.
here's Berkeley.
Yeah.
Here's Oakland. This is North Oakland. We got Central Oakland. We got East Oakland. We got West Oakland. Warehouse area.
So from the stadium?
From the stadium, it's way west.
Way west.
So the stadium is east.
Yeah, okay. What were you so concerned about telling us about that gun for?
I was gonna get in trouble for having an illegal gun, fucking selling it to some dipshit who's gonna fucking shoot somebody. Yeah, that's not what I thought was gonna happen. So,
Sure.
protection, man. It's fucking open, whatever. I didn't expect him to be a fucking moron.
You ever see him go off? You know, not necessarily like this, but I mean, you ever see him just lose his temper?
No.
Is this out of character for him?
As far as I know, I mean, I work with the dude. I guess I've seen him freak out at work, but not like be violent or anything, just yelling and whatever, nothing. Never seen him get in a fight. I've never seen anything like that.
Is he bigger than you or smaller than you?
He's a little smaller. I don't know. I don't know. I used to be bigger. I don't have Jeffrey's size, so
Sure.
I started doing lots of cardio working out, and I've thinned out more than I realized. So.
Do you think he was trying to get with this girl that you guys had with you? Do you think he was trying to have sex with her?
Yeah, totally.
Do you think she just completely shut him down, turned it off, or what do you think happened with that?
No, I definitely think so. You know, Unless that's how she likes it. God, that's disturbing. Yeah, no, it was not friendly.
Did it start off friendly at the beginning?
Yeah.
So what do you think the change was?
She was drunk.
She was drunk. She's just not a good drunk.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
So at Radio Shack, that's the first time that you kind of put two and two together.
Well, I really didn't put it together, like I said. I really didn't think that it had related to me. Michelle, I was like, oh.
Girls know best. They're pretty smart.
Yeah, she's really fucking smart.
When did you actually put two and two that, holy crap, this is what happened?
Here.
Prior to the police, or when the police contacted you?
No, when 1,000 police rushed my hotel this morning, I mean, and fucking put their knee on my head, and I was like, oh wait, no, something fucked up has happened. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta understand their point of view is they don't.
No, I don't blame them at all. If I was them, I would have been a lot meaner. There's nothing wrong with what they did.
So when you took this, did you think you were gonna fail right away?
Yep.
But you know what? You do the right thing by being honest about it. Okay?
Yeah, well, I hope so.
It would have came out anyways. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
You should have said it early. Don't get me wrong.
You're right. I know.
But you did.
No, it's fucking stupid, yeah. You should have had Michelle telling me what to do.
No, she's concerned about you, obviously. Obviously, she loves you and cares about you. You know, you guys have a future together, so.
Hopefully. I don't know. She's going to want to talk to me much after this.
If you called Dan, would you be able to get a hold of him or not? Do you know how to get a hold of him?
Yeah, I mean, I have his number on my phone. It still works and everything. My phone, as far as I know, I think I have like $3 in talk time left and unlimited text for whenever I paid it on another couple weeks or something.
If you talked to him on the phone, do you think he would be honest with you about what happened?
I don't know.
What do you think? Just not sure.
I'm not sure.
Do you think he would still keep that gun?
Yeah, I do.
Has he been arrested for anything before? Do you know?
I don't know. Not since I've known him that I know of.
Anything else you can think of that we missed? You missed telling us anything that we're. It's going to come out eventually, anyways.
Yeah.
You already think what I was thinking?
I'm not sure what you're thinking, but I just want to. So we can clarify everything. First, I want to ask you is, and you said it, and you hit the nail on the head. We were talking about Madeline and the naming of the guns, getting that cleared up. Like the cop said, great, appreciate it, get this sorted out. The other end of that he also pointed out, is that you own the gun, your friends are on the gun, and since you have lied to us significantly about what's going on, I mean, I kind of understand why you did. Like I said, too, nobody fucking likes talking to cops. But, I mean, we really don't have any reason to believe you that you're telling the truth about you not being the one that pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Okay? So, in that sentiment, I want to know how we can get a hold of Dan. Do you know how we can get a hold? Do you have his phone number? And would you be willing to call him?
Yeah, it's on my old phone.
Where's your old phone?
It was at the hotel. It's the blue one.
The blue one? Do you know what brand it is?
And I don't remember Samsung maybe.
Okay. Is it a flip phone? I'm just trying to, if there are a bunch of phones there. Okay.
It's just that one.
Okay.
The other one should be in my bag, I believe.
Was that blue flip phone powered up?
I believe so.
Okay. So I'm asking, what I would like to do is I want to go get Dan's number. Do you think his cell, is it still the same number? Or do you think he's changed his number by now?
I would imagine he has the same one.
Okay. Would you be willing to give him a call and start having a conversation to see what he might say about all this? We can confirm that you're being truthful with us about all this. You can talk to him about the gun, saying, hey, I think that maybe was an unfair price. I think you should maybe pay me an extra $50 or something like that. Or we'll generate some sort of way that you can engage him in a conversation.
You want me to try and ask him straight up if he fucking shot this chick or what?
How do you think he would respond if you asked him that flatly?
I think that you would think I was a fucking narc.
Right, so we wouldn't want you to ask that flatly.
But you just want me to bring up the gun.
Well, we want you to be able to start talking to you, and we want to figure out a way that you can engage him in conversation that he might start talking a little bit so we can corroborate what you're saying. We know that you're truthful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. For example, one of the ways might be to call him and talk about what was the purpose of this trip up here in the first place. And if you want to talk in code and saying, hey, I know you came up here to pick up Clyde.
I think I got to think of something a little smoother than that.
Okay, well, we can figure something out, can't we? All right. I'm going to go work on getting that phone number off your phone. You want a cup of coffee or water or anything?
And a cigarette would be awesome.
I have a cigarette.